being paid for with medical cards. Now, this greatly impacts a poor woman's access to reproductive health care, which includes abortion procedures. Abortion has been legal in the United States since 1973. According to the definition of justice, justice is the administration of law, especially the establishment or determination of rights according to the rules of law. And so if a poor woman cannot access abortion procedures, but they're legal, then that is an injustice for poor women. Abortion procedures are available for some women because they can get to those and they can pay for those. But for a majority of women, 81% of the women that we served in our last fiscal year were women of color between the ages of 17 to 26 that already had children. And so by prohibiting a young poor woman from exercising her choice, a choice that is legal, that is a grave injustice.
It is.
What's your thoughts on that, Aja?
I mean, basically everything you just said, that it was true. It's a total injustice. I mean, how can you say abortion is legal, but if you poor, you don't have access to it. You can't get an abortion because you're low income, or, and you go and you get a medical card. You can't pay for it with your medical card, but it's a medical procedure. It's one of the safest procedures. It's safer than childbirth, as you said, as you mentioned. And I think it's a great injustice that, it's not available to women who can, who can't afford it, who can't, just pick up their checkbook and write a check and say, I need this abortion. Here go my money. No, I think it's a grave injustice.
One of the callers wanted to know, Aja, what type of support did you have when you had your second and your third abortion? Like, was your family very supportive, or what type of support did you have? Because a lot of people, a lot of women, a lot of young girls don't have the support. They're ostracized from their families. They don't have anybody to talk to. They've been stigmatized by this whole personal decision that they're making. Exactly. So can you tell us?
My second abortion, once again, I had my grandmother there with me all the way. I mean, she was there. She was there for me. She was like, and this was, again, before I had my two children. So, it was, my grandmother was there. She was there for me all the way. And then my third abortion, my husband, who I'm with now, it was his baby, and he was just, he was perfect. I mean, I know there's no perfect person, but he was perfect. He supported me. Baby, if this is what you want to do, this is what we feel we need to do, then this is what we're going to do. He went with me. He was there holding my hand during the procedure. He took me home, took care of me, made sure I had hot cocoa. And, I had a strong support system. I've never been talked about for, my grandmother she doesn't mention it right now to this day, and he doesn't mention it. It's, it was just, I had a great support system.
I think we have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, I just wanted to say that when I had a procedure when I was younger, I was very blessed to have health insurance, and that was truly a relief upon me. But now that I'm older and I have a good job, I'd like to know how I can support the Chicago Abortion Fund.
Thank you for that question. We are going to flash our information, and if you are interested in supporting us, here is the information. We will flash that a couple more times. We are also on YouTube, so if you have missed the show or missed a part of the show, you can go onto YouTube under videos and pull up our shows from the past couple of months. We'll flash our information a couple more times for those that want to support and for those that need support and funding.
Gaylon, we have a caller. Sorry.
Go ahead, caller.
I was calling you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was calling you regarding I understand, and I'm listening to both of you, and each one of you have had several, not so much several, but you've had more than 3 or 2 abortions. And have you really, I know this is an organization, now are you funding people who want to have an abortion? Is that the purpose of this organization? Are you assisting people to have an abortion?
Yes.
Are you instructing them on what this abortion is?
Okay, caller, we are going to explain exactly what the Chicago Abortion Fund does. We provide financial assistance. Women call into us. We are a fund. Women call into us. We're not a counseling service. They have already made their decision and they need help. They need financial assistance to pay for their procedures. And so they're calling into us before they go to their provider to get money. If they're able to get through to our client line, because it is a first come, first served basis, then they are funded. There are some guidelines that you have to fit, and all that information is on our voicemail. But in regards to having more than one abortion, abortion is a woman's choice. And you can't tell a woman how many abortions to have. If she chooses to take birth control, if she chooses not to. Full reproductive health care, and if that means abortion services, if that means birth control, what that means for each individual woman is different. All birth control, no birth control is 100% effective. And so the reality is plenty of women, even taking birth control, get pregnant and are not ready to become mothers. And so I think we need to move away from a conversation about how many abortions people have, because that's not the issue. The issue is every woman has the right to full autonomy of her body. She has the right to control the body that she lives in, and no one has the right to tell her that. And so that is what we stand for. But we also make choice possible. So for women that choose that, we have women in our leadership group who've had abortions and then turn around and have had children, and we support that. It is a woman's choice, and that's what Make Choice Possible is about. It's about supporting a woman's choice, whatever that choice is. One of the questions that someone called in and asked was what type of additional birth control I was using in addition to the sponge. Well, I'm not even going to lie that I was 17. So I don't think I was using anything else. But one of the key things that comes out of that question is I didn't know a lot about sex. I didn't know a lot about birth control. I probably used something what other people were talking about or saw it advertised, which only goes to show that there needs to be full sexual education in schools for teenagers.
We have a caller.
Go ahead, caller.
How you doing?
Good.
I just want to call and make a statement. I've had an abortion in the past, and I recently went to the doctor, and asked for some birth control pills, so I wouldn't have to go through that again.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor told me that I was overweight, and he was going to choose not to give me the birth control pills, that I should use other forms of contraceptive, that birth control pills cause weight gain. And I feel as if, how can you tell me how to conduct my, everyday life? If I want to be overweight, that's my business. You know what I'm saying? But then what am I to do if I get pregnant and I can't take care of a child? So if I choose to do abortion, that's my decision. Or, that
Right.
things like that happen. I just want women to know that that's what that doctor told me, and it's unbelievable. And I just, if I get pregnant, then what do I do?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, caller, for bringing that to the attention of the audience. There is a lot of disrespect in the healthcare system. Women have gotten pregnant on using the patch. They weren't informed by their healthcare providers that they had to be up under a certain weight, and they were given that without full education.
Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You just spoke on the patch. I was about to get the patch. I was, you know, I went to